Good morning. We want to start off with introducing the teams and posting the flags. So I'm just going to start with the introductions. Advancing Science, Technology, and Art and the University of California, San Diego from the USA. Cardiff University and James Cook University from the UK and Australia. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University from the US of A. Florida Atlantic University from the USA. George Mason University from the USA. Georgia Institute of Technology, USA. The Korea Maritime and Ocean University from South Korea. Lake Superior State University from the USA. Nanyang Technological University from Singapore. The National University of Singapore from Singapore. Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile from Chile. The Singapore University of Technology and Design from Singapore. The University of Florida Machine Intelligence Laboratory from the USA. The University of Louisiana at Lafayette, USA. And last, because they came the farthest, University of Newcastle from Australia. Congratulations to all of you for making it this far, for getting here, for doing what it takes to make the journey to get here. And thank you all for being here. One last round of applause for all of the teams for RobotX 2024. You can all join your teams now.
No, it's okay.
All right, welcome to RobotX 2024. My name is Daryl Davidson. I'm the president and CEO of RoboNation, and we are the organization that has the pleasure of hosting and managing this event, which is now in its 10th year, believe it or not. So I want to welcome you to the U.S. for those that are from overseas. I want to welcome all of you to Florida, and welcome to windy Sarasota. We paid extra this year for the wind, and we've actually paid some more because we've got some rain coming in middle of the week, because we believe that RobotX, of all of the programs that we do and all the competitions that we do, is the most real world. And we really want to find out how many of you have been able to test your systems in real world environments. So you can give us whatever answer you want, but we'll find out before the week is over. There is a lot going on in this area, in this part of Florida. If you've had the chance to drive around, you've probably seen a whole lot of things that are laying on the ground. We had a visit from Hurricane Milton just a few weeks ago, and you've got debris around this venue, You've got trees and signs and other things that took a beating from that hurricane that came right through this area. But the area is resilient, it's recovered, and it's a beautiful place to hold an event in November. So we're just delighted to have you here. This area that we're in, the Sarasota area, is one of the fastest growing areas in the state and in the country. And you've got activities all around you. I think most of y'all are probably staying in the hotel that's just to our south. But when you get time, if you get an evening or some time off, this area to the left of us, to my left, to your right, is the University Town Center area. It's a mall, it's a bunch of shops. They are set up for the holidays now, so a lot of things going on over there that may give you an evening just to relax and recover, which I'm sure none of you will take advantage of because you've got other priorities. But it's there if you need it. We can talk more about the region if you want offline, but not this morning. So I want to thank you to not only the teams that have made it here, but the organizations that have helped make this possible. Our primary sponsor, the organization that really has made RobotX happen for the last 10 years, is the U.S. Office of Naval Research. Let's give them a big hand. It was 10 years ago that RoboNation and ONR launched the first ever RobotX, which happened in Singapore in 2014. I don't know that hopefully none of you students were participating then. If so, you need to get out of school and move on. Was anybody here part of the first RobotX? We got a handful. Wow, and very impressive. So that one was in 2014. We went from Singapore to Hawaii for 2 iterations of RobotX. We took an iteration off because of COVID. And then we ended up in Sydney last year. 2 years ago. How many of y'all were in Sydney? We should have more hands going up. There we go. So the interesting thing is that this venue, much like the Sydney International Regatta Center, are both commercial rowing facilities. They host Olympic-style rowing events and a host of other things. But so the footprint of the body of water is the same. It's just the surrounding landscape is a little bit different. Looking forward from here, just to tease you a little bit, we are having conversations with a wide range of other venues. This one will always be available to us, and we like it here, but we've also got interest from countries and venues all over the world that are looking at and wanting to get involved with RobotX. So I expect that in the next couple of years, we'll have some exciting news to share with you, and don't lock in for any one venue because we've got a lot of global ambitious plans. Other sponsors that I want to thank real quick: MathWorks, SpaceX, OnShape, Blue Robotics, Avex Aerospace, Hydronolix, Cadence, and a host of others. We want to thank the venue here, Nathan Benderson Park. They have done a lot cleaning up from Milton to get ready for us. And they've had to do a lot of improvisation because some of the things that we were planning got blown away. And then lastly, I want to thank the event staff and the judges and the volunteers that make this event happen. You'll be interacting with a wide range of people over the next week that will help you in the water, on the courses, in the tents, and even after hours. And so just make sure that you treat them with respect. They've given a lot of themselves to be here, and we never have any problems. You guys are great, and we are here to help you, okay? So you're competing, you're focused on what you need to do. If you need something, anything, let us know, and we are here to help. All right, so I think that does it for me. I want to introduce Chris Buzzle, who is our program sponsor for the U.S. Office of Naval Research. Chris is going to give you her welcome. Thank you, Chris.
Good morning. I will try to keep this short. I'm excited to be here from representing the Office of Naval Research. The Office of Naval Research has a long history of supporting research and development in the field of maritime robotics, and we're excited to see the next generation of innovators and leaders taking on this challenge. The RobotX Challenge provides a unique opportunity for teams to showcase their skills, the skills that you've learned, and to learn from one another. So in the past years, and I don't think I have to remind everyone this, because we see incredible teamwork and collaboration, not just within your teams, but amongst the teams. It seems like one team, if a team is having trouble somewhere, another team always steps in to help them out. So that's pretty awesome to see. So in the field of maritime robotics, these are complex systems, and we require a diverse set of skills and perspectives. So it's great to have all of you here working on these teams. And I'm excited to see what you do this week, and I hope you all have a lot of fun doing it. I just want to point out most of the judges, or all of the judges, will be in blue shirts. And so they all come from industry or Navy research labs, or Navy reservists, and so I encourage you to talk to them, especially if you're looking to graduate this year. It's a great opportunity to network and see what opportunities are out there for you. Other than that, I'd just like to welcome you all here and hope you have a great experience, and look forward to seeing what the week brings. So thank you all.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. It's great to hear from you. We're happy to have you here and bringing all of this to action. We're excited. I am Juliana Smith, if you haven't met me yet. I'm excited to officially meet you all in person. I work at RoboNation as the Director of Program Operations, so I get the exciting job of working with a great team to bring all of this to life. So we're excited to see what you all bring to the water this week. We have a few things to go over this morning, and then we will be able to open up the water and see what you can do today. So first, we are going to go over just a quick welcome and some quick housekeeping, and then I'm going to hand it over to Sherry to go over logistics, Bill for battery safety, and then Amir will close us with some course operations, and we'll also close with any other questions if you have anything that we don't cover today. So quickly looking at the schedule at a glance, you should have a full detailed schedule in your team packet. It's also on the website. But just to take a look, today we will be opening up the courses at 1 o'clock, but you do have to go through your safety inspections and everything first. So technically we have to go through all of that before the water officially opens, but Amir will go over some of that in more detail. Today is just practice. But tomorrow we will have our judges out on the water, so you can start qualifying. So Monday through Thursday, we will have the courses open for practice and qualifying so that you can hopefully qualify and gain a spot for semifinals. That will be on Friday, and then we'll have finals on Saturday. Each day we have a morning and evening team meeting. We ask that you send at least one representative to each of those meetings. We go over a lot of important information for each day and make sure that you all don't have any questions or have any feedback. Amir really likes to get any feedback or questions that you guys have throughout the day. You're out on the water all day, so we just want to make sure that we're covering all of your needs. So we'll have that starting today at 5 o'clock. So as soon as the courses close, we'll be meeting over in Team Village this afternoon. On Thursday afternoon, we also have a quick networking reception after our team meeting. So we have just wanted to bring everyone together kind of midweek, allow kind of some specific time to network with each other. So we'll have that over in Team Village, and we'll also be serving some dinner. So that's always nice. And then on Saturday evening, we'll also have awards right back here. So we'll come back, we'll start here and we'll end here and close out the week. All right, to keep up with all of the important information, you have heard this from me many times if you've joined us on the team time calls. Please make sure you are on Discord. We should have the QR code up there, so you should be able to scan that. If you haven't already joined Discord, we have an online server to keep you all updated with all of the important information. It's also a great opportunity for you all to connect. It's a big tent over there, and there's a lot of land and space that we have, and so sometimes it's hard to find the exact person that you're looking for or the exact equipment or spare parts that you may be looking for. So be sure to use Discord that way and maybe interact with each other and try to help help each other out, see what each other needs. That is there for you to be able to use. The next thing we have is special awards. So if you've been to a RoboNation competition before, you are familiar with the online form that we send out to nominate each other for special awards. So we have all of our staff and judges that are always on the lookout for special, unique behavior from all of you, collaboration or special, unique solutions that you have that you've brought to the competition. This is where you have the chance to actually nominate each other as well. So we pull all of those together to determine what special awards we give out at the end of the competition. It's a long week, we're out here long days, but you all bring so much and bring such a unique culture to this competition. And so we want to be able to recognize those of you who are really bringing that top tier interaction with each other. So we have that open, and it will actually close on Thursday so that we have Friday to kind of compile all those results. Just so make sure that you're always on the lookout and nominating each other for any special awards that you think may be appropriate. The last piece that I have before I hand it over to Sherry is data sharing. So again, it's a little bit repetitive if you have heard us on the team time calls, but this is the time to really utilize it. We have a data sharing platform available for all of you to utilize. You can upload all of your data that you're collecting to test, especially here now that you're on site with the official courses. We also, Amir will show you in our walkthrough, but we also have some tasks that are out of the water just in Team Village that you'll be able to use with your cameras and collect some data there out of the water as well. But make sure that you are using data sharing. You can use this QR code to get to the online folders, but you can also use the local server that we have so that you have a much quicker upload speed. It'll also be in the back corner, and we'll go over that when we go through the layout. One last thing with data sharing, we do have at least one, but maybe two data moderators here. Can you raise your hands? All right, so we have two data moderators here with us. So if you have any questions, you can also use Discord and tag data moderators, and they'll be able to help you out with any questions that you may have on how to best utilize that tool. All right, that is it for me. So I'm gonna pass it on to Sherry Koch, AKA our RoboMom.
Good morning. Super exciting to have all of you here. We are super excited that all your boats are here. I just want to let you guys know that getting your boats here is a big achievement. Those are very big boxes. It's not easy. And so for the team members that worked on that, good job. Good job. All right, I am RoboMom, but I'm also Sherry. We are, Jadita, Jadita, stand up. I want to have everybody see what my assistant looks like. She's like my better half. The two of us are running around. If you need help with anything, you can get any staff member in a black shirt. They will have a walkie-talkie radio. They can call us if you need something. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you. On the back of your badges, my phone number is on the back. The easiest way is to text me if you need me. Call me. Juliana also, you can text her. If it's an emergency, make sure you get a hold of us, and that's why we give you our cell phone numbers, because we want to make sure that we are reachable to you if you need something. All right, as Juliana mentioned, this is a very large venue, and you all should have gotten a layout map in your team packet. So we want to just quickly go over where everything is. We've got a legend, so I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm going to point out a couple of important things. Obviously, you've got A, B, and C courses in the water. Amir will go over that. But if you look closely, the biggest thing, and Amir's going to go over also the logistics of getting your boats hooked up and launched in the water in the morning and how to do that. But one of the things I need to talk to you about today is if you shipped your boat, you've got a great big humongous crate in the middle of your bay. And so if you have one of those will be moved but not until tomorrow. If you have a smaller box, that we can move the smaller box, but your great big box, we will have to wait till tomorrow when they come to pick up all the crates and take them away. We didn't want to rush you about unpacking all of your stuff, because sometimes you've got a lot of stuff in there. So they'll come pick up the boxes first thing tomorrow. You can, if you can move your box, you're welcome to move it outside. If you just don't have I don't want to have Joe moving the big boxes because they're too big. We need a certified forklift driver for that. But the smaller boxes, you can get a hold of me and we'll get those moved outside of the tent. If you can't fit a trailer inside your bay right now, you can park it on the outside, and we'll just work with you on working out, making sure that we are deconflicting with where the trucks need to be and your trailer. So I'll let Amir go over more of that. But one other thing I want to talk to you about is parking. Can we go back? Thanks. Is parking. You've seen the big tent. What I'd like to do is in the morning, if we can park all of our personal cars, small cars, in the grassy area behind the big tent, that would be great. If you have brought a box truck or a trailer or any large vehicle that's going to be left overnight, I need you to meet down here at the stage with me and Marvin, because they're going to be left overnight. We need to park them nicely so that we maintain access for our big tractor trailers to come in to remove your boxes. So if you could do that for us, that would be great. Let's see. Inside the tent, you all have a map. Inside the tent, you've obviously found your bay inside the tent. We've got a RoboNation booth for you. If we have any tech talks going on during the day, you'll see where that area is. We've got some games, we've got some sponsors. All that's labeled on the map, and you can see what that looks like here. All right, next. You all have been given t-shirts as part of your registration. Those picture is right there. You see you get the Fun Florida Coral. Hopefully everybody loves those. We also have sun shirts for you. Those are for sale. They're navy, and they'll be available at the RoboNation booth. All of our volunteers are in light blue, and sometimes they'll be judges, sometimes they'll be technical staff. If they're a lead, either a technical lead or a judge lead, Juliana, right? They'll be wearing a vest. Okay, they'll be wearing an orange or yellow vest. They'll either be wearing a yellow or orange vest, just so that you can clearly identify who is in that position at each course pretty easily. All right, we do have RoboNation staff is wearing black. Sorry, I skipped over that. Is wearing black, or they've got gray long sleeve sun shirts. So just to understand, that's kind of our color codes. All right. Event reminders. Welcome to Florida. It is November, supposed to be winter. Welcome to winter in Florida. We wake up in the morning and it's in the 60s, and it can be 85, 89 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can get burned. Even if it's cool here, we're on the water reflects the sunlight back at you, and you will be sunburned. Please, I don't want any lobsters walking around, and what happens is you're bright red and you're walking around like this because you can't touch your skin. Anyway. So make sure you wear sunscreen. Hopefully you brought jackets for the morning if you don't like to be cold. And the biggest thing is drink water. Drink water, drink water. And also for teams, if you're going to go shopping, make sure you bring Gatorade or some kind of electrolyte back with you, because water, you need a lot of water, but you also need electrolytes. You know, personally, I try to drink one electrolyte beverage a day when I'm here, and I've been here a week. So there's, as Daryl let us know, there's a ton of great options just right over here, food options. There are 2 Home Depots nearby, and there's a Lowe's. They're within 10 minutes if you need those. If you need any other kind of shop, just touch base with me and we'll try to find it for you if you need something special. All right. The Nathan Benderson Park opens at 7 a.m. and the venue will close at 6 p.m. So just understand that we will kick you out of the team village pretty much after the team meeting, because we've got to get everything closed down and we have to be out when the park closes. So just keep those in mind. All right, weather. This is Florida. Every day it rains here. And it rains in the afternoon. But even if it doesn't rain and you look at your weather app and you say, it's not going to be rainy today, it's 100% humidity. So everything's going to be wet. And what I really need to talk to you about is tent rain. Anybody ever heard of tent rain? Only one. It has happened every day to us because it gets cool at night and it's 100% humidity. Anytime that air touches something, especially inside our tent, or it touches the roof and the roof is cool, there traps warm air underneath the tent, then the outside air cools down, and when that hot air rises, it touches the tent and then it rains. So every morning we wake up to this much water on everything. So we have provided you, each bay has, a drop cloth. If you're going to leave anything out, expect it to be wet in the morning. So if you don't want it wet, don't leave it out and don't leave it in the tent. That's just going to be a thing. So please plan for it. Rain and lightning happen regularly here. So we will continue operating in the rain. Amir and Juliana and I will be keeping an eye on the weather. We have lightning monitors. If there's lightning within 10 miles, we will stop course operations and we will send you to your vehicles or off-site. If you don't have a vehicle and because your team went somewhere and you were left here, the tent is not, none of the tents are an authorized shelter location. Okay, you can come here under the building if you need to shelter, or you can go in your car, or you can go off-site. We will notify you on Discord when we are going to resume operations. Courses will close until there's been no lightning for 30 minutes. Wind. It's already a little windy. Yesterday afternoon, I don't know what the wind speed was, but it was pretty blowy. In fact, our course boats had to go rescue our floating dock because it went away. So, but that's part of the challenge that we expect you guys to be able to operate in. But we will be monitoring the wind. There is a possibility that it'll get too windy for us to operate, and we will let you know. All right. Any other weather that you guys need to be aware of? We're watching it very closely, and we will notify you during those team meetings. So if anything changes for weather, we'll let you know. All right. You all have Wi-Fi in the big tent and along the beach. Where's Nicholas? He's working. You have a picture of him. If you need to find Nicholas, there is a little tiny 10 by 10 tent on this side of the big tent. That's his place. If he's not there, find a black shirt with a radio. We can get a hold of him and have him come and troubleshoot any issues, internet issues that you have. One thing he did ask me to please stress is that we do have antennas mounted inside some of the tents that is providing your Wi-Fi. Please do not plug anything in or touch those. If you have electricity going up to those, please don't try to get some additional electricity. If you need a power strip, come and see us, because you've got one extension cord in your bay, and if you need a power strip, we will try to get you one. But we have had teams try to plug something into our antennas and take down the whole network, so please don't do that. All right, just know that you will be throttled by Nicholas. He does monitor your bandwidth usage, so please don't hog our system because you will be throttled. All right, I think that's all for me. And I'm going to introduce part of our TD staff, Bill Porter.
Hi, my name is Bill Porter. I am actually the technical director for the RoboBoat competition, which also takes place here in Sarasota. I'm here quickly to talk about something that all your robots have, and something that, if you don't respect, can be very dangerous. And that's your batteries. Oh, you took my chair, you took the sheets, I don't have my slides. So next slide. So what happened, this is actual video footage from the hotel here in Sarasota. We had a team have a battery fire incident. This took place 2 years ago. You can hear the fire alarm going off in the audio. In a second, you can see the fire truck in the background. There goes the fire truck. And that is just the aftermath of the fire. We did not start recording until after the flame jet was extinguished. And that was just the rest of the battery burning up in that video. This was a very humbling event. And it's the reason I am now up here, just to do a quick battery safety brief. And we're gonna sort of do dissect that incident as well, to talk about how to carefully handle your batteries, what you should be doing to be safe with your batteries, and think about if there is such an event again, how to correctly handle it and not make bad decisions on the fly. So first, let's talk a little bit about lithium failures. We actually see lithium failures a lot at these competitions, more so in the RoboSub and RoboBoat competitions, since they tend to use more hobby-grade batteries. The common failure we always usually see is over-discharge, which usually just results in a puffy battery. You can have overcharge failures, and you can also physically damage your batteries. So over-discharge, again, this is the most common failure we've seen. This is when you designed your robot not to have a battery monitoring system or a battery cutoff system. You just keep using your robot not knowing that your batteries are low to the point where they actually start damaging themselves. You should not do that. Your robot should be designed to monitor your battery voltage. You should have someone keeping an eye on that battery voltage, and at worst, you should have an automatic system that shuts your boat down when the battery voltage gets too low. I'm going to jump around a bit. If you're on a team, and you're all on teams, raise your hand if you're the battery safety officer on your team. I see 2 hands, 3 hands. All right, so what teams haven't elected a battery safety officer yet? Oh, come on, I didn't see enough hands for there not to be hands right now. I'm going to ask you again tomorrow who the battery safety officer is on your team. What is that person? That person should be the person that knows your batteries intimately, has read their manuals, has read the charger manuals, and knows how to operate your chargers correctly. Have you all been good and read your charger manuals? I'm still not seeing a lot of hands. If you're not confident enough to put your hand up high right now, then I don't think you read that manual enough times. Please make sure that someone in your team, his main responsibility is the safety of your batteries. They don't necessarily have to be the person that plugs them in, but they should be the one knowing that the person who is going to plug them in knows what they're doing. So moving back on now, overcharging, this is the bad one. This is what happened here in Sarasota 2 years ago, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Things you could do is, really you just need to make sure you understand how your charger works. You need to make sure you're using it correctly, that it has safety systems that are correctly being used. And be careful trying to save money and buying a low quality charger, because that can get you in trouble as well. So how not to overcharge. Always charge your battery if your battery is one of those ones that is raw cells that has a balance connector. That's the additional connector on your battery with a bunch of wires in it. That balance connector is how the charger can monitor your batteries. Now, for those that have the big battery packs with built-in BMSs, the BMS is doing that. Internally, it's monitoring all the cells of your battery and making sure that one is not going too high. And it has the ability to cut off the voltage to your cell. Make sure your charger is configured to monitor the cells through that balance connector. Again, you need to read the manual. And there's a way to test to make sure that works if you have one of these chargers. Start a charge with the balance connector connected to the charger, and then unplug the balance connector. The charger should stop. It should fail and say that I can't monitor the safety of the battery anymore, so therefore I'm not going to charge. If it doesn't shut off when you do that test, you have not configured it correctly, or it is not a charger that is a good charger. So let's talk a bit about, the last one is physical damage. You know, when you go and put your batteries in your boat or remove your batteries, just be very careful to not physically damage them. You can damage those batteries in such a way that the two electrodes can touch each other, and then you create another battery fire. So make sure you handle your batteries correctly. Let's talk about what to do. And actually, let's jump real quick to talk about what happened here. So we're going to do a quick dissection of what happened at RoboBoat in 2022. First of all, they were charging batteries in their hotel room. The team actually decided to charge batteries unattended. Is that a good idea? You should always have someone around when your batteries are charging, correct? They got lucky. One member of the team decided, you know, I'm not very hungry, I'm a little tired, I'm going to hang back. And he hung back in the room even though the team had decided to go get dinner together. He started to hear a noise, looked up, and started to see smoke. Now, when you charge your batteries, when you have LiPo batteries, where should you charge them? In a LiPo bag. They had a LiPo bag. It was not in their LiPo bag. So the first thing he did was grab the battery and shove it in the LiPo bag. So at least he got it in the LiPo bag. Went out the door to his hotel room, and then where did he go? He went to the elevator. What do you call an elevator that you go in with a battery that's about to catch fire? You call it a coffin. And I can tell who's listened to my speech before. Where should you go when you have a battery that's about to catch fire and you need to get down to the ground floor? The stairs. Do you know where the stairs are in your hotel? Nobody? How do you quickly determine where the stairs are in your hotel? Look for the exit signs. If you're standing in the hallway, glance towards the end, and the ones that have that lit up red exit sign is showing you where the stairwell is. So even if you haven't looked to see where the stairwell is, that's the quick way to see where the stairwell is. Go down the stairs and get it outside the hotel. Now this team got lucky. They got out of the elevator. They got 5 feet out of the door, and you saw in that video, that's where he had to drop it because it was turning into a flame jet. So they had averted a catastrophe by mere tens of seconds. What happened? Well, first, when they plugged their battery into their charger, it was not configured correctly. They had a 6 series cell battery and the charger was set to 7. So what happens when the charger is set to more cells that are in the battery? It'll overcharge and apply too much voltage. That caused the runaway event. The battery had a balance connector that would include in the charger, but they did not connect it. So the charger didn't have any way to know that this was an issue. Also, the charger was configured to ignore the balance connector. Hence, why it allowed a charge even though it wasn't connected. This is why we ask you to make sure that your charger is configured correctly and that you should run a test and unplug your balance connector and verify your charger stops. Now again, I know this doesn't apply to a lot of teams that have the big commercial batteries with built-in BMSs, but how many teams have drones here for this competition? Your drone batteries are also the kind of batteries that can cause fires. They may seem small, but they have enough energy to turn into a flame jet and start a larger fire. So this also applies to your aerial drone batteries as well. All right. What do you do if you have a puffy battery and you're on site? Who do you call? Who said Ghostbusters? I heard it. It was over here. You do not call Ghostbusters. You call Sherry. And here's a pop quiz. Where's Sherry's number? On the back of your badge. Perfect. Everyone's been paying attention. Well, it's always good to do this battery safety brief when you guys have actually had sleep. I know that's not going to be the case in a few days. Again, never leave your batteries unattended when they're charging. And when you're back at your hotel, always have your battery fire plan. And that usually means what? Have a bucket of sand nearby. We do have buckets. We have buckets of sand here, correct, Sherry? Yeah, I'm getting some shake. So we have buckets of sand inside the tent as well. And again, welcome to Sarasota. Any questions on batteries before I go? Do we all respect our batteries a lot more now? Okay, good. I don't mean to scare you guys, but I do mean to make you guys think about your batteries and respect them. All right, so then we're done with that. Let me introduce Amir Quayumi, the RobotX Technical Director.
Welcome back. Also, welcome new teams. So I'm the technical director for the event. I designed the challenges. Hopefully I made them hard enough that you don't finish them all. No, I'm excited to see you guys here, see what you can do. As Daryl mentioned, we've had wind almost every day in the afternoon. It builds up, so just be aware of that. We're going to be working on some courses today to fix some damage we had yesterday. Let me go ahead and start with, like I said, a welcome, and then let's go into, I'm going to jump right into it, some of the mandatory challenges, mandatory activities we have. As you know, I don't plan on going through all the tasks. Hopefully you've all read the manual. We've talked about it on Team Time a few times. Please feel free to ask questions as you have them, as they come up. But there's a couple mandatory things you have to do. As you saw from the layout that Sherry put up, we have nav channels. We have 2 of them right behind me over here. We'll be walking through all this as well. Launch ramps over here on the left. My left, sorry, your right. So in order to get access to a course, every day you'll need to have demonstrated that your unmanned system can autonomously navigate through the nav channel. I have a 3rd nav channel in between courses Alpha and Bravo. I'll show you that when we walk through. So we have a little bit of overflow area if we need to. So just be ready for that, and we'll go through the process of that as well. The other one you'll have to do is for the UAV challenge. In order to get your aircraft qualified, you'll have to get certified by Dave Mann, who's over here. And for the USV, you'll have to get certified for Bill, who is just here. So he'll be doing your safety inspections for that to make sure you're ready you've passed the basic safety checks. And then Dave will also be doing the flight proficiency checks for your pilots. Are there any questions on that? A lot of it's in the manuals, and we'll be able to kind of go deep dive if you need to. But are there any questions on those 2 qualification pieces to get on the courses? So for the USV, the nav channel is a mandatory every time you go back, or sorry, once a day, but you'll have a little bit of a safety check before you go back in and before you get launched in. The USV demonstration on the next slide here, I talked about it. It's basically roughly about 10 meters wide, the gates, roughly 10 to 30 meters in length. They move, the winds change, so they get bigger and smaller as the day goes. If it gets too small, we'll adjust it as we can, but it is on the water, there is a watch circle, things are moving. So just be aware of that. That's why it's an autonomous challenge. You got to adapt to the environment. For the safety checks, Bill will have a checklist to go through. It includes the things that are listed here on the top. Make sure you have the buoyancy pods installed and working. Emergency stop system works both on the craft and your remote stop. Those are important things to have working. We want to make sure we know where to tow it. As the weather has changed, and with our craft here, we may end up doing towing alongside. So we may pull to the side, kind of secure to the side of it. So keep that in mind as you do the safety checks. Please help us identify where we can tow from, forward or aft, or realistically, when the wind picks up, we'll probably have to hold it on the side and bring it in. Let us know if that's not a possibility, please, and we need to adjust accordingly. Also, when you're doing that, when you get on the water, please communicate with your course directors. They will make sure that the people who are supporting on the boats that we have know where to where to touch the boat, where not to touch it, where to stay away, how to secure it if we need to tow it. That's an important piece. We don't want to be figuring that out when it goes rogue. Any questions on that? That's a new thing we kind of, as we got here and started operating, we realized it may be more difficult to tow from forward or aft as the wind picks up, so just be aware of that and kind of think about that as you're putting your boats together. A lot of the details are in the the team handbook. We want propeller guards. We want no things sticking out that are sharp objects, things that might injure somebody. Also, especially with your launchers for the rifle balls, eye safety. Just make sure it's not going to hit someone in the face, and it's a way to secure it so it can't do damage there. And then things are secure. You're not just setting something on that could fall off as the wind blows or as the boat moves. And I recommend strongly you protect against rain. Don't have any openings up top where water's going to get in. Just for what it's worth. I would not recommend an umbrella or a poncho. They probably won't stay very long in the wind. Any questions on that? Okay, so we talked about that during, the question was about lift points. We will not be needing lift points this year. We don't have any cranes. And so that's not a critical thing for this evolution, just because we don't have cranes this year. Especially since we're able to get a launch ramp over here. That's a good question, thank you. And Bill's got a mic if anyone has questions, so we can all hear it. All right, let's go to the next one for the UAV checkout, which I guess the image didn't come up. So the safety check, Dave will be running you through that. The descriptions are in the manual, the team handbook, and he'll be running your pilots through that, basically running a square, running an X pattern, and then running the autonomous control as well, and make sure you go into safety mode. So you can refer to the handbook for that picture. Now the next thing is launch and recovery of your boat. How you want to get in the water and get out of the water. Before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for 1 second. I'm going to bring the technical staff out. So my team, if you guys can come up here, just over here, I want to make sure you guys meet them. Because these are the people you're going to be talking with and working with for doing these launch and recovery evolutions. First one here, he's got the gray hat on, the black jacket there. Josh, can you raise your hand? He is in charge of the heartbeat message, one of the mandatory tasks. If you have any questions, any trouble, he will be the one to talk to. He's the point person. All the stuff will go into his server to verify that you're able to send the message correctly, formatted correctly, and can be read correctly. So he's the main point of contact for that. Person nearest to the speaker here is Justin. He's going to be in charge of all the boat operations. All the safety boats, everything will run through him. He'll be managing all the boat captains. So he's an important person to know and make friends with, I guess, in this case, because he'll be making sure your safety boats are there. I want to make sure he understands what all your boat's safety and dangerous areas are, where we should touch, where we shouldn't touch. If you have any areas we shouldn't touch, please mark those separately and very clearly so we can stay away from those. Next to him is Joe. He's kind of my counterpart on the courses as well, kind of all the operation stuff. Anything, if the course is out of whack, you can go to him. Or your course directors ideally first. And the course directors raise their hand. I've got 3 of them here now. I've got David, who's got the boonie cap on. We've got Hannah in the blue shirt. And then we've got Dieter, who literally just showed up about 5 minutes ago. So those are your course directors. That's your main point of contact for anything on the courses. They run the course. Any problems you have, they may kill your boat if they see something dangerous happening. Make sure your team captain checks in with them when you come on the course. They need to know who your team captain is. That's the one person they're going to listen to. You can have 10 people shouting, but until the team captain communicates, I don't want direction from anywhere else because that makes it too confusing. So there's your team captains. Tanvir, who's standing there next to Hannah, might come in as a course director, but he'll also be in the team village working as a team ambassador, working with all of you. And then Maya, who should be up there as well. Maya will be in your team village. She's your team liaison. When you're ready to go out, she's the one you reach out to. Look for her. I think she'll be wearing the orange vest is what we decided. And then Janita, who's nodding her head there, and Jeff next to her, raise your hand. They'll be over here at the boat ramp, running boat operations. So they'll be helping you get your boats in and out of the water. And then Brent, who I guess is back here, he will be driving the trucks for you, getting them in and out. And when we do the walkthrough, I'll show you how that looks. We'll do an actual walkthrough of how it looks so you can see where to bring your boats. But essentially, you'll bring your trailers over to the assign this a staging area near the intersection here. He'll hook up, bring you over, launch your boat. Once your boat is launched in the water, make sure someone stays around because he's going to drive over to the other side here, release your trailer. Someone needs to take that trailer, put it back in your team area, your team stall. So it's out of the way so the next team can come through. Any questions on that? And we'll walk through the process of getting your boats to that launch, the staging area. Maya will be the main point of contact. making sure you've passed your safety inspections, making sure you're ready, letting you know when you can go and take your boat to the staging area. So don't just immediately take it there, check with her on what the staging looks like to make sure that it's clear for you to do that. So essentially, you'll reach out to Maya. Bill will be doing the detailed safety inspections. Then we'll have a regular safety inspection. Every time you come out of the water and want to go back in, there'll be a quick safety check just to make sure nothing got changed and nothing's broken before you go back in. Does that make sense? Once you're cleared for launch, she'll call out to the launch ramp. They'll send a truck over to connect to your boat, bring the boat over. The launch director will help you get the boat in the water, then release the truck to take your trailer, so you'll have someone going over there, and then send you to the appropriate location, whether it be nav channel or directly to the course if you've already passed the nav channel for the day. And then for recovery, kind of the reverse. Call in, work with your course director to get permission to come back over here. When the boat ramp's ready to receive you, they will be able to get you in, make sure your trailer, someone goes and gets your trailer to be hooked up to the trailer, or to the truck rather, connect it on, go out, recover your boat, take it into your stall, and then release the truck to go back to the next one. Any questions on that? I know it sounds complicated, it will get easier, trust me. The first day is always a little chaotic, sometimes the second day, but we'll get back to that. I think that was my last one. Oh, sorry, the courses. Updated course layout based on what we were able to do. We had a couple changes after the hurricane. We had to kind of change some of the course layouts. Some of the icons didn't come through either. The funny shaped little dice looking things are the actual red and green buoys for the follow the path. And then the UAV search and report and the UAV replenishment I've moved near shore initially. We'll probably move those around later in the week as we build confidence and see how the weather plays out. Entrance and exit gates are still near shore. One note, we did post it a couple times and talked about it. We are still short a few of the tailor-made buoys that didn't make it in. I've got some of the team's buoys that come in. I'll be swapping those out. But we have the Royalian buoys. I've been calling them crayon buoys. They look like crayons to me. That's what these are right here for the nav channel until we can get enough of the tailor-mades on hand. Right now, Alpha and Bravo courses are pretty much ready to go. The Charlie course, we got to do some repairs. One of the lines came loose, so we got to fix that before that'll be open later today. Any questions on the courses? My goal is to have multiple boats on each course at a given time. The course director will own that and understand how many they can handle depending on how close the boats are getting to each other and how they're operating. So just work with the course director or the team lead. And I was hoping to have one here. So the next slide that's going to come up is the sign-up sheet. This is similar to what we've done in the past. There's a Google Sheet, and there will be a QR code. We'll have that posted at RoboNation as well for you to scan. All of you can see that, so you can see what the course schedule looks like. In order to sign up for a course slot, you've got to have passed the safety inspection. You'll have to, in order to get onto a course, you'll have to have passed the nav channel once per day. So go ahead and sign up for that slot first, and then you can go ahead. Then once you've done that, you can go to your course and you can sign up for a course. You only have one course slot scheduled at a time. You cannot sign up for multiple. That leaves other teams the opportunity to sign up. There we go. That's the actual live view. Cool. On Google Sheets. So what you'll have on the top left, if we can scroll over, right there is the nav channels, nav channel 1, 2, and 3, which is 1, 2, and 3, going right to left for you. And then underneath that is the course alpha for each task. So you can sign up during this qualifying days. You sign up for a specific task and work with the course director. If you want to do another task, you can give up your slot, move on to another task. Once you've done it, just make sure we're communicating and working with the judges for signing up for the actual challenges and getting qualified. Any questions so far? You'll all be able to see these course sign-up sheets for the day. The only people who can sign you up for the course time slots, go first to your course director. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. You can send a runner there and talk to them, see what's available, and work with them. Depending on the elements in that course, they'll know what's best happening. Any questions on that? The course director is your first point of contact for the signing up. Okay.
Amir, do you want to talk about them beaching their boats, what they can do when the boats are beached, that kind of
Yeah, I was
stuff?
going to talk about that, and then we'll go over it as we do the walkthrough as well. So we have docking areas for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie for you to bring your boats up, or if you want to pull them on the beach and do that. No heavy construction work. Work with the course director on that, on what's considered. You know, we want to make sure you're doing something safe. We don't want to leave any metal fragments or anything on the beach. No glass is allowed on the beach, just to be clear. And also, no changing batteries on the water. You need to bring it back out, change it on shore, and go back out. Just to be, you know, that's all safety considerations for that. Any questions? Also, each day, the color of the day and the pinger information will be posted on that chart, so that's where you can find it. I think that's my last one. If there's any questions.
This is more just a logistics thing, but are there any 220 volt lines for like fast charging batteries?
I'll let Bill take that one.
No, if you look in the manual, what you're provided is only a 120 volt, 15 amp plug. That's the best that every team gets, unfortunately.
Any other questions? All right. I think what's next is the walkthrough, and we'll have our course directors with us, as well as some of the area leads, so you can talk with them and meet them as well. What we're going to do is we're going to start right here at the launch position, and we'll go from there.